All right, we're live. Hi, how are you guys? This is Ishai Breslow, and as usual, I'm checking my connections first. The first thing I do, sorry, let's go. Let's check our connections. Let's make sure that we are all good, that everything is awesome, that things are great. Let's see that we're actually live on LinkedIn. Want to make sure if you guys see me, hear me, holler. Make sure you holler. Okay, here we go. Let's see how the connection works. Okay, LinkedIn seems fine. So I believe we're okay. Okay, guys, how are you today? Let's start officially the show. Hi, guys. This is Ishai Breslow with the CRE SharkEye show. I hope you guys are doing fantastic this Monday morning, and we're all psyched to go and to do what we love, which is commercial real estate. And today what I want to do is I want to talk industrial. Before I do that, I just want to make sure that everybody knows about my 7-day CRE challenge, 7-day commercial real estate challenge for people who are entering the field of commercial real estate to brush their, to get brushed up in this whole industry and to get used to the industry and to get understand what this industry is capable of doing to your life. And you could start up and changing your life by entering it, and why anyone can do this. So check that out, please. And right away, I'm going to dive into what I want to talk about today. I want to talk industrial. That's the topic of today. Let's talk industrial, 2021 industrial. And we obviously know what happened in 2020. And once the coronavirus hit, everything pretty much changed for us. Everything changed. And we know that. We spoke about it many times. Everybody's talking about that. But what I want to do is I want to focus on the industrial part that happened and started booming, because that was a thing that started happening prior to the pandemic. And how did it start? It started happening because obviously we knew about the e-commerce revolution that started everything that started to happen with that. And once that was rolling, what that snowball was starting going forward, we started seeing the e-commerce booming because Amazon came into the picture, of course, and took away from the retail industry. That's how everything started up, right? So everything started up with that. So the Amazon revolution started up. Everybody's starting to buy e-commerce. A lot of people are, taking away a little bit from their habits of visiting a retail center, a shopping center, a mall, etc. So that one started then, and retailers started thinking ahead, and it started, of course, with the big guys, with all those J.C. Penney's, the Sears started to go out of business, and we saw that happen in a big scale. But once the pandemic hit, it took it to another level. But I want to go back for a little bit and talk about industrial. Once we knew that the e-commerce, and how does that work? It starts with the consumers. It starts with the people who actually want to buy products, right? So they go online, they buy products, and instead of walking and visiting the actual store, they're visiting the store online from their computer, just like you guys are sitting at home and watching all the time, especially during the time that you couldn't live at home, couldn't leave your home, or but I'm talking about prior to that. People got used to the fact that they could sit at home and actually order. What's the effect that happens after that? People don't visit the stores. You need more storage areas. You need more warehousing. You need more areas to actually put the product there. And you need a lot more logistics in order to maneuver those things that are called, the e-commerce revolution, to get people to get their product. If you buy a phone, you could get it at home by someone actually delivering it to you. If you buy a little toy for your kids, if you buy clothes, if you buy anything, it's been delivered to you. But this whole delivered to you aspect has a back end. And that back end is the whole revolution that we're talking about. Now, once this whole thing started happening, and it started gaining momentum, it started gaining this whole thing. So we saw that retailers, whoever was fast enough, just like, for example, Walmart or Costco, all these guys. Costco is a different story, but I'm saying Walmart and also Target. Target understood a little late, but once they got it, they got it. And they understood that it's less about the square footage that they need in the stores, but it's more about the whole warehousing that and the logistics that needs to be done in order to fulfill those orders. Other companies did not see it coming. But when the pandemic hit, when coronavirus came into the door and nobody could move out of their homes, that was the only option. And we know what happened to retail. I'm not talking about retail today. We know what happened to that. But once that happened, when you have something happening, it's not like it's happening in one place and that is it. It's happening in that place, but then it creates a new opportunity in another. And that's what happened to the whole industrial thing. Because once you have people not going to the stores and they need to order online because they still need goods, maybe there's certain things that are not happening. Maybe there's certain things that are not happening again ever, because people are not going to go out and do them. Like, for example, they're not going to go for vacations. So that's why hospitality got hit. That's why airlines got hit. That's why all these things happened. That's why people didn't go with cars. So that is a type of a product that got hit from another angle. But certain things, like, for example, ordering food or ordering clothes, ordering pharmacy products, anything that you need at home, and people live by, and people need to order things, or home office, people needed to create, so they started ordering online all kind of products in order to make their home office, like this thing, right? Like any other stuff that people started using, and they never used it before, okay? So they didn't go to the store, but they did order it online, and again, the back end starts working. The whole logistical system starts moving. Once the logistical system starts moving, once it starts happening, once it starts going forward, it creates an industry. It creates a new world. It creates a new business, created new businesses. So that business that all of a sudden has so much more happening in there requires a lot more support around that type of business. And that's where we are right now, and that's what we're going to talk about. So once this whole industrial revolution started and people started ordering things online, so the whole back end, as I said, started maneuvering, started going, and so on and so forth. So it's sort of, I would call it, it's a snowball. It's a snowball because once you start that, you need more space. More space requires more square footage, meaning that's more space. The more square footage or square meters, if you're in Europe, and I'm talking mostly about obviously in the US, but it's all over the world. But once you have a requirement for more square footage, as I say, sorry about that. Once you have a requirement for more square footage than the price for square footage when it comes to industrial or light industrial or warehousing or storage and all those things, the price goes up. The first thing I see for 2021 and going forward is that, this world of industrial single digits when it comes to per square foot, I think it's dead. I think it's over. The one thing that we're going to see is we're going to see the 10, the 12, the 14 per square foot. It's going to be much more. It's going to be more and more common because it's required. That's why. And you know what? And it's also a perspective, because let's say, for example, someone owns a mall, okay? Or a huge shopping center. And that shopping center is an out-of-town shopping center. Is that, those super centers that are away, and it stopped performing a long time ago. So you have two choices. You have a choice of saying, I can still have it. I can still use it. And they still look at the $30 per square foot, $24, I don't know, $40 per square foot, $100 per square foot. Who knows what they were charging and where? $200 per square foot. And it was a long time ago, and it's dead. Who knows what the numbers used to be? Who knows? But it's dead. It's gone, right? It's the world is gone. So from all those numbers that they have per square foot, no matter where they are, depends where they are, of course, where they were, where they are, but where they were in terms of business, it's non-existent anymore. They are now actually making $0 per square foot. There's nothing's coming in. So once nothing's coming in, and it's been there for a while, it's like sort of becoming such a thing that you know that it's not going to recover, not anytime soon. Then you have two choices. One, you can sell it at a loss. You have few choices. You can sell it at a loss. You can just ditch the place because don't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to buy it. Sell it at a loss to someone who wants to reposition it and make a new thing out of it. Obviously, conversion, as we call it. Make it a multifamily. Make it something else. Make it who knows what. Or you can be strategically smart if you can do it financially, if you can afford it, or the investors allow it, or you don't have that burden sitting on you and you could do it yourself. And that is turning that place into that light industrial revolution tool, meaning warehousing. And it comes with a price. It comes with a price because a person who was running a mall or who owned a mall and was used to certain type of per square foot income and certain type of stuff coming in, revenues coming in, and it's not there anymore. And all of a sudden, someone is talking about him. Someone else is saying, "Okay, you could bring in warehousing platforms. You have to first of all change it. You have to reposition it. You have to change a lot of stuff." Some malls are not equipped to do that. Of course, most of them, but some of them are. Some of them are lighter in terms of the ability to convert them from construction-wise, and it can be done not only zoning-wise but also construction-wise, and it's doable because it's just practically it can be done. So once you know it can be done, and you're looking at it, so it's tough to move from what you know you had to this 10, 12 per square foot. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm making only that. I want to get out of here. So that could be the notion. At the same time, it doesn't really matter what this per square footage can be. If you have the ability to do that and you know that there's a tremendous need for industrial, for warehousing, then you can be not only humble, but strategically smart, and you can make a lot of money out of it. So that is something that is required from people who own all those retail centers to be able to say, listen, I know what the revolution is bringing, and what I want to do is to move to industrial and to move to warehousing and to see and to be all I can be in terms of what's happening in the world. Because it's happening. You can't deny it. You can't stop it. You know that this whole revolution will start. If you go to warehouses and you see how much activity there are there, everybody's talking about it. Everyone is talking about it. You know that it's going to get more and more. And you know that developers that are building those, they will need to charge those 12 or $14 per square foot, and the single digits again are dead because they will have to break bread for their homes because they will have to justify this whole development that they just created, right? And they bought it for a reason. They bought it because they saw it coming. So the bottom line is that industrial in its new form, in its, I would say, huge form that is just had come upon us because it has to support this whole e-commerce system. Everything that is going on around us, everything that we all use, it's not only coming, it's coming with full force ahead. And whoever's going to catch it, whoever's going to be on it is going to win. So that's why all those many funds are going and attacking it with full force. So the two ends of it are, I would say, if I have to take two edges of things, are offices unknown. We don't know when it's coming back. We know that it will come back. We don't know how. We don't know how much. We don't know what capacity. We know people will get back to offices, but that's sort of the question. We know retail is in trouble and retail is changing forever. We know that people will still use retail, will go to centers, but we know that net leases and those pharmacies and a strip center that have different aspects. And for that, we are going to have a special guest next week. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about that now. Hotels, we know that they're going to come back, but right now they're not back. Right now, there's an issue. Right now, they're not back. Right now, they are in trouble. Okay. If you're looking at this whole entire picture, I see two edges. I see the first edge, the first end of things. The first edge is multifamily. First edge is multifamily and residential, and the other edge is industrial. People are sitting at home. They need a roof over their head. They're sitting at home, and they're clicking and clicking and clicking. And I heard it from Les Brown. The world is moving from brick and mortar to click and order. I love that. It's really funny. It's sad, but it's funny. But it's true. And the fact that people are sitting at home and clicking, 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 that will make the industrial revolution grow and grow and grow, because you will need the back end, the backup for this whole system to go. And how do you have a system that will work best? By having those warehouses and industrial and logistics and all these things happening in the back end, and they will need more and more and more square footage as retail is shrinking. Okay, so that's shrinking, that is growing, that's where it's going. And it's not like the economy is not going anywhere, meaning the economy may go here, may go there. Some people predict that the big crash is going to happen in 2021. Even if there's a big crash happening, everything goes down, must go up, eventually will go up, and people will continue eventually buying things. And obviously, the warehouse solution is going to be the solution, because it actually supports the whole online system. And it's becoming more and more sophisticated. Also, think about it. The more we order online, the more we are, the spoiler we get. So, for example, if a person was used to a certain amount of time until the products are reaching them, right? They became more and more spoiled. And now they want it in shorter time, faster, and in a better quality, and in a safer type of a way to come, that it won't break on the way or won't get lost, etc. And also, the whole system today is nuts. Like, for example, just give you an example. When the pandemic hit, I found myself sitting on a chair, and I have bad back. So I said to myself, okay, fine. I'll order for me and my wife. I'll order those, I saw online, I saw those gel cushions, right? Those cushions, those pillows, whatever. It's like gel. You sit on it, and it's better apparently for your back or whatever it is. I don't know. And I'm sitting on, and I'm looking at online, and it popped out my Facebook, and I ordered it. So like any other guy who orders things, and it never came. And apparently that company disappeared. So whether they were a scam, I tried to reach them. They wrote back, no, it's coming. No, it's coming. Obviously something from China. I have no idea where they're from. Anyways, obviously it's a fraud. Obviously it's some. So what I'm trying to say is that the whole industrial revolution is happening full force ahead, but the whole support system around it is creating more and more and more jobs, more and more solutions, more and more cybersecurity systems that will actually support this whole circle that is called warehousing, etc. But a part of it is the real estate. Part of it, of course, is the square footage that is going to be required. There are going to be more places. There's going to be more logistical space that is required. You'll need a place to put all these things. You'll need systems to put in there. You'll need more robots or people or whatever. That's a separate discussion, but you'll need the square footage. And once that happens, it's going to, and it grows, meaning it's already happening. But I'm saying once it grows to a level that it's going to be crazy. And I think that people talk, I heard someone speak about a bubble within the industrial spectrum. I heard someone speak about this. And I don't agree with this necessarily, because unlike, it could be, anything could happen, but unlike, for example, retail, that seemed to be exciting for people. Exciting because people wanted to go and have fun. And the retailers started saying, okay, let's create more happening. Let's create let's have another store here, let's have another store there, and the retail started booming, and we went overboard with building retail all over the states. I don't think that industrial is that exciting that will get people to build more unless there is a necessity that is direct, meaning there's less excitement around industrial. It's not an exciting real estate. It's not like a beautiful condo development that everybody wants to live in or a luxurious architecture. It's not. It's a boring looking type of structure, and the way you're going to make it, it's usually built to suit type of a thing. They'll have to be suitable for the certain type of company with the ceiling, with the type of the fire department, and if it's storage, it has to have all kind of setting. And if it's a warehouse, it has to have different settings, and every company has their requirements. And also there's a certain type of a risk factor in it, because if you have a certain type of company coming in and saying, listen, I need X amount of square footage for my company to have this warehouse, right? And they're coming in and you're building it for them, and they're there, and they a long-term lease, everything is great, right? What if they leave? You're stuck with a built-to-suit, tailor-made type of a structure that is built particularly for that. If it's Amazon, you're dead. If they come and you make it for them, it's huge, humongous, and you made it for them, and then they leave. Then it will be very hard to find another company that they can use the exact same type of an industrial, the warehouse that you've built for Amazon to be able to use. Point made, meaning what's the point? What's the point I'm trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is that people that are getting into this business are very careful. Okay, it's less of an exciting type of thing. Let's build this, imagination, this, that. No, it's a built to suit type of a thing. It's very specific. There are very specific requirements within this industry that will get the investors to come in and say how exactly we need to build it, or we need to buy it and reposition it and rehab it, whatever it is, in order to make it good for our tenant. Okay, in order to make it feasible for our tenant. And I'm not talking about the numbers, I'm talking about that. So it's a type of an industry that requires, how do you say, being really, really going into the specifics, and there's less excitement, and therefore I don't see a bubble here. I don't see something that be created for a bubble. If you disagree, I'll appreciate if you could write me a comment. But I'm saying, as per that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And I think that the whole industrial thing is going to go even stronger and harder and larger and bigger again, because once we went to the e-commerce revolution, and once we got into the pandemic and the e-commerce revolution became a huge thing, and everyone is using it, and we just got used to do it all the time, and we're not so thrilled to get up from our seats now and to go to any place and buy anything because we can do it online. Once we saw that coming, once we see that opportunity, once we became spoiled, I don't think there's any way back. I think there's only forward, and there's only better. And the industrial revolution is here to stay and become bigger and better. And the only question is, what will those companies need, and how would this be translated in terms of square footage? I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I want to wish you a beautiful, beautiful week. Take care, you guys.